So what's up, y'all? This is Watch, Talk, and Act back with another video review. This time we have Six the Goddess. She's talking about all men want to cheat. Here's why all don't. So we're going to react to this video and then we're going to create dialogue at the end and see what we come out with. I'm going to come with my own perspective, of course, but y'all can fill in the blanks. Y'all can comment in the comment section. Also, before you leave, please hit that like button. We're trying to grow the channel, see what we can get, and go from there, you guys. Let's talk about this. Let's play this video.
Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Six the Goddess. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. I hope you all are doing well. I'm doing well. Today's video has been so highly requested, mostly from the ladies, and we're going to go ahead and talk about it. Let's just go ahead and get down to it. Today's video is about the type of man that doesn't cheat and why.
Tis I don't cheat.
Because there's definitely a science to this, okay? Now, we know that cheating is a very hurtful thing to happen. We know it's unimaginably hurtful because men tend to not be able to handle a woman that cheats. So that tells us that we know it's a hurtful thing. I do know a lot of women where they are kind of gaslit that it is normal or it's something that all men do. That is not true. Um, it's not to downplay how it may hurt a woman, how it can affect a family. It can definitely put the family in bad situations. It can make your partner feel as though they're not good enough, or they're not satisfying you. And I would say this is the number one complaint that I get from women about men is, well, if I do this, this, and this, he's going to still cheat. He's going to still do this. So, what we have to do as ladies, as opposed to focusing so much on men cheating, okay? Let me also say, because I know y'all fingers, I know y'all Negroes in the comment with your fingers getting ready to say, women cheat too. This video is not about that. Hey, weird. This video is about why men cheat. I'm sorry, why men don't cheat. Let's just put that out there. This is not saying that men are the only ones that do it. So calm down. Don't write me a comment.
But it says all men want to cheat. Okay, but yeah, she does have in there. Here's why all don't. So okay, yeah, she's right. Okay, cool.
I know y'all be ready to. Okay.
I got
It's going to be about the men that don't. So let's just let that be today's topic. We don't got to always talk about everybody on every video. All right, let's just know that. So, the man that doesn't cheat. Let me first say this. The man that doesn't cheat because he chooses to. Period. There is nothing that you can particularly do as a woman that guarantees a man will not cheat. Okay. I do believe that as a woman in a relationship or marriage with your man, that yes, you do have certain duties and responsibilities and standards that you should uphold. Okay. If you're going to ask this man to look at you and you solely for satisfaction, and we know life is about multiple forms of satisfaction.
Before she goes any further, understand something though. A lot of dudes, and let's be real, it's unrealistic to think that dudes aren't just gonna walk with their girl and not pay attention to another chick that walks by that's fine in a mug. Some dudes, me, I don't do that, but other dudes do. I'm not trying to paint myself out to be this angel, but I don't need to entertain looking at another woman, especially when I'm in the presence of my woman. Now, the ex-girlfriend that I just broke up with this past September, I didn't look at anybody else. I focused on her. You know how many? I had like a few offers, and I didn't even look at those other females at all, or really even entertain their conversations, especially through Facebook. And it's not easy, but if you're a guy like me who is disciplined, You don't have to worry about that. But anyway, let me play it.
Okay, it is physical, it is spiritual, it is mental. So if you as a woman are going to have the expectation from the man that I want to be the woman that satisfies these things for you, then you definitely need to take that seriously and not sleep on it. This is why, we talk all the time about as women, keeping ourselves in shape, keeping ourselves looking good every day, not weaponizing sex or using sex as something that's like, oh my God, today I don't feel like it, or today, and there may be extreme cases where you're not able to get down with your man, and we get that, but unfortunately we do see too many times a woman like gets a paper cut and she's like, oh, I can't do it. Figure out how to get yourself in the mood. Your man being in the mood should definitely make you be in the mood too. So while we do have standards and expectations that we should uphold as ladies, if you are in a relationship with a man, I do understand that nothing guarantees that. However, we want to try our best. Now, it is in my personal opinion, I believe all men would love to be able to be sexual with a plethora of ladies. I think that all men may look at a woman in particular that he crosses paths with in the street, and he may desire to want to see what it's like with her. Because remember, men are very visual, very curious creatures. And when they see a woman, one of the first things they're thinking about is, ooh, what would it be like? I think that most men, if they had the proper space and opportunity, that they would. I do. Whether they were married, single, whatever. And when I say single, meaning in a relationship but not married, I think that all men, if they were able to, would do it. Okay. So when a man doesn't cheat, in my opinion, it's intentional. It's not necessarily because he can't. Now, you may have some men who just are really bad with women. Okay, you have some guys where they're just like, listen, I'm just glad that I have one woman that I'm able to lock down and get some from. Some men just don't possess the wherewithal, the know-how, the confidence, the stamina, the money, the funds to sit and entertain a plethora of women. So it's different. Then you
Her autofocus sucks balls, man. She should have just had it like on one focus, but let's just keep watching this.
have some men who they could do damage, but they simply just choose not to. And why do they choose not to? The men that don't cheat are the men who understand that the risk that comes with it is simply not worth everything that they have to lose. Okay? Because men have to understand this. Every woman that you bed has the potential to bring you down. Every woman that you bed has the potential to ruin you. Okay? So a man going to bed, Bill Cosby has just entered the chat. Hey, Bill. Bill, what you doing here? Even decades later. Okay? So when I say despise the free puss, this is what I mean.
That's
There's
different
no
though.
such thing as free puss. Puss always costs you something.
Facts.
And you better hope it's only money. Okay? Because it has the potential to cost you way more. Every woman that you take to bed, you are allowing her behind your castle. Every woman that you take to bed now has a different level of access to you. Okay? When a man doesn't cheat, the man is like, listen, I have peace in my relationship. I'm happy in my relationship. I'm satisfied in my relationship. Those are the men that are like, listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't have time for the way these women move out here. I don't have time for being exposed. I don't have time for being extorted. I do not have time for anybody being crazy, endangering my family. I don't want to risk the diseases. I am focused on getting my money right. More women equals more problems. having more women in your life is more resources you have to put out, more money that has to be put out, more of your time, more of your energy. In most healthy relationships, if you are having a normal, healthy sex life, okay, you're going to be spending majority of your energy satisfying your partner, not out here satisfying multiple women. There are some men that maybe they used to cheat and they stopped cheating because they saw, listen, spreading myself thin, this is too time consuming. If a man has one solid chick, then a lot of times he'd rather just stick with that. A woman he knows is for him, a woman he knows that he can trust. And he simply does not want the problems that come with extra women. I think too many times men promote, this plethora of women. They say things like, oh, we're not meant to be with one woman. And then they only highlight the positives that.
And I'm in agreement as far as we aren't meant to really be with one woman, but that doesn't mean you take advantage of that as a man. And I'll speak about that later on after I get done watching this because we're 8 minutes in, not technically 9 minutes in, so we got what, like 5 minutes. So I'll speak about that.
Come with it. And really, the only positives that come with having multiple women is a nut. And then you hear the men say that after they get their nut, they become disinterested. You hear them say that they almost loathe themselves afterwards, that they look at the woman like, ugh, like, so what you about to do? So there are some men that have been there, done that. Okay. This is why, ladies, I personally always recommend to you, don't get with a man that has never kind of phase in a way. There's very few instances where a man can never have a phase and still remain faithful. Sometimes you have.
You can't say hoe on YouTube anymore? Wow. YouTube's getting that bad? That's not good.
To see that something is not all it's cracked up to be in order to not desire it. Sometimes men get married super young. They never have time to kind of see that you're not missing out on anything. And then before you know it, now you're getting sang the song like, we've been together since our teenage years. I really don't mean to hurt her, but I need some time to be alone. You don't want them singing that song to you. You kind of want to get with a man after he's been there, done that. He's seen a lot of these chicks are crazy. A lot of these chicks for the streets. A lot of them can't be trusted. You kind of want him to be to the point where he sees that. Okay, because remember, men most of the time are hard headed. They have to learn the hard way. So sometimes it's best that he's already kind of seen that on his own. That way he can produce a solid chick. That's the man that doesn't cheat. He's been there, done that. He doesn't need to prove himself. Okay. He's not a slave to his ego. A lot of times men cheat because they're looking for affirmation. They're looking for validation. They're looking to get that ego stroked. Remember, a man cannot serve his ego and his family, his woman at the same time. He cannot do both. The men that don't cheat, they are secure with themselves. Okay.
I don't know about all that, especially if you're a rich man. They tend to balance family with the ego. I mean, I'm just saying the ego more than likely drives them, and their purpose, whatever it is, drives them. So they aren't going to be with the family all the time. They're probably going to spend 80 plus hours doing whatever they do that works and helps them stay in business for whatever they do. So I don't know about that one, but let's keep listening.
Okay. We're living in a different time. See, back in the day, a man could leave the house. There was no cell phone. There was no beeper. He left the house. He was gone. It wasn't everyone has, you go out now, everyone has a camera phone. Everyone is recording everything. Okay. It's too much risk. Back in the day, women had more discretion. Women had more class. Now it's like the women will go around bragging about how they sleeping with somebody's man, sleeping with someone's husband. That's the man that does not cheat. He says, you know what? A piece of ass is just not worth my purpose, my money, my time. It is not worth putting a wedge in between what I have. Too many women, you think that you can argue a man into not cheating, stalk a man into not cheating, force a man. Ladies, that is just not the way it goes. And the quicker that we understand that, the better off. Okay. So, ladies, that's what you need to look for. And I'm going to recap one more time. He's not a slave to his ego. He's been there, done that. He's not super hyper and just pressed for women. I feel like if a man is still excited by those and excited by different, he's not ready yet. He should be to the point where it doesn't excite him, where it's like, okay, you can say you got some puss, and then what? Okay, so ladies, is the man who values his hard work, his money, his resources. He does not wish to have to take money that should be for himself, for his family, his children, his woman, and have to give it to outside people, because all that adds up. How many men do we know that have went broke and lost it trying to manage multiple ladies at a time? Okay. It's the man who has gotten things out his system. It's the man that values having solidarity and an anchor in his home, in his life, to keep him grounded, as opposed to the weak form of satisfaction of some outside woman betting you for the night. Okay. So, ladies, do not focus so much on the men that do. Focus more on what the man that doesn't look like. Otherwise, you're only going to invite more of what you don't want into your life. Remember to use that feminine energy to get what you want. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please make sure to subscribe, like the video, and share it with a friend. Share it with your mama, your cousin, your baby daddy's cousin's mama. Okay, it just doesn't matter. Just share the video, like the video, and thank you for watching.
So that's it, y'all. That's it for the video. But I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna share some commentary about this whole video. So we watched the clip of the goddess, and what people need to understand is this: men have the potential to quote unquote cheat. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why we don't is for a different number of reasons. Number one is definitely a spiritual battle that goes within us, because we really do want to commit, and it's not necessarily that. It's just men biologically, chemically, what we're made of, our being is not meant to really be with one woman. But the way we combat all these other women that we're supposedly having sex with and hooking up with, the way we combat that is through understanding what life is, what our true nature is. When you talk about who a god is, what a god is, things like that, we're conquering the God within. And actually we're conquering our flesh, but we're making ourselves God on earth, meaning we're able to control our destiny and to do good in what we do, to know the laws of the universe, things like that, set things in order within ourselves, spiritually speaking. And we can't do that having a bunch of women all the time like that. You just can't. It's draining. It's too much to that. It just is. As a man, you can't really have so many women when you're trying to go out there and fulfill a purpose and do what you do as a man. Most men are nomads. So we go out, we venture, we create, do things like that, and we establish communities, make laws, build things, just do whatever there's a necessity. We produce things where there's a necessity needed. The fact that men cheat and step out and have sex with multiple women is because we are men. Our biological body is telling us, you don't know if you're going to live tomorrow. There could be a woman that another man is competing with. A man could kill you over another woman that you're competing with. Your body is telling you, hey, you need to reproduce as much as possible. And because of that, it's unknown to us mentally, because we're physically acting out what our mental is not really revealing to us. So mentally is attached to that biochemical type situation. Our body's telling us, hey, reproduce, 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 because you could die at any moment. This is why a lot of men cheat, because we're meant to constantly procreate and have children, and we're supposed to continue out life that way. Women, they're only born with all the eggs that they will have. So I mean, it just is what it is. Women carry babies for 9 months plus, depending on your physique and depending on the complication with the child. So men, we don't carry babies like that for 9+ months. Women do. We have sperm. We're constantly creating children because we could really die. We really could at any moment. So that's how we carry on our legacy through the procreation process. But in order to stop that, you have to be able to conquer self. That means the human aspects of yourself. And you have to become a god, which means a ruler on this earth. You have to build a legacy. You have to study the laws of the universe and be in alignment with that. That's what it really boils down to. But a lot of men don't do that. They're just going off of the physicality. They're having sex with all these women, creating all these children, doing all those things as such. And that's the real reason why it just is what it is. You know, we war at the end of the day. Now, the reason why some men don't is because they just don't want to go with all the drama. And let me say this about the men who do, because I'm going to go back real quick. The men who do cheat, there's something that's lacking, whether it be sexually or just maybe there's a certain woman that just like makes them feel like, man, like I really am feeling this woman compared to my old lady. You know, there's something that she gives me compared to the other woman that is not just happening. Some men have a lot of trauma there, and they just can't help themselves. Now, when it comes to these men who don't, like I said, they conquered self. They don't need all that. They don't want the financial troubles. They've been through certain things in their life. Some of them may have been claiming that, oh, you know, well, you don't want me. Guess what? You rape me. The vindictive types, the lying, things like that. It's just a lot of drama behind. Women got to understand, man. Men, we go through a lot. It is not easy being a man either. Just because you have a penis, you stand up and you pee, you know, things like that. And we don't have to go through a woman's cycle and bleeding and all that foolishness. We could just, at any moment, our lives waste away. Because men, we're expendable compared to these women out here. Men today aren't seen as valuable like that, you know, and a woman can break us down. We really can. And what women need to stop doing is taking our kindness for weakness, because that's why some of these men become the buttholes that we do. Because us as men, we, for the most part, really start out, you know, gentle things like that. But women can take that part of us that is really protective and genuine and make us look like fools. But when you start to do that, we become tougher and we tend to put up a wall and we become buttholes, and we just don't want women to take advantage of what a man is. And that's what women have to start realizing. Because a lot of women are going through a lot of trauma and things like that, and they're projecting it on us, and it's causing a lot of problems. It's causing a lot of toxicity, and I just don't think that these women understand that. They really don't. But anyway, that's all I'm gonna share with y'all. And the way to combat this stuff, men and women just have to wake up to the reality of what's going on in their communities, who and what they are, and just really have a nice deep talk. Start educating yourself, re-educating yourself about the truth, things like that, about these male-female relationships, because it's deep, man. A lot of women assume that we just can read their head, and And I'll get into the Jada Pinkett situation, you know, with the Will Smith and stuff like that, about automatically thinking that we know what they're thinking in their heads. It just don't work like that. You have to be able to communicate. So with that, y'all, watch, talk, and act, but don't just act. Create solutions.